Hello, folks. Today we are going to talk a little bit about how much money do you need to immigrate to Canada. Cost of immigration to Canada. If you're planning to move to Canada this year, one of the primary steps would be to confirm the costs involved in applying for a PR visa to Canada. Let's find out the cost to apply for the Canadian PR via the most popular express entry system of Canada. Next step, funds requirement at different stages of application. When you are applying for the Canadian PR, you will require the funds at different stages of your application process. So let's divide the same in two parts for better understanding. For example, first part, funds requirement for documents while submitting EOI in the express entry. And by the way, EOI here stands for expression of interest. Part 2, funds requirement after getting invitation to apply for the PR visa. So let's first find out the funds requirement to submit the EOI, expression of interest. So next part, proof of funds requirement. You need to maintain the required sufficient amount of funds in your bank account for the last 6 months. Hence, it's better to have the required proof of funds amount in your account before you start the express entry process. What is the amount you need to show as a proof of funds? Please take a look at the table below. It depicts number of family members versus the funds required in Canadian dollar. For one person individual, the principal applicant needs to have at least $12,960 as per the latest figures shared by IRCC. And for each additional family member, it pretty much comes to 3,492. But then again, look at the table, calculate the right amount for you, and prepare accordingly. Next, let's come to the charges for the documents you require to submit for the EOI. To submit an EOI in the express entry system, you need two key documents, like IELTS Test for English proficiency. The fee for this is approximately INR 13,250. In addition, you can also provide an approved French language test result. Next, ECA, which basically means Education Credential Assessment. The fee for obtaining ECA through WES is approximately 230 Canadian dollars. Note, the ECA fee differs from other assessing authorities like ICAS, IQAS, and then some more. You can speak to one of our experts to find out more details if you want. Fee charges applicable after the receipt of ITA, invitation to apply. You need to pay the following fee charges after the receipt of the invitation to apply, like Canadian PR fees and associated fees for the dependents on your application. Next, medical test charges for yourself and your dependents if there are any on your application. PCC charges, police clearance certificate charges. That will be done for yourself as well as your dependents or your spouse as required. Let's find out the amount you need to pay for each. Canadian PR fees applicable from April 30th, 2020. The charges applied for the amount in Canadian dollars and then further amount in Indian rupees for your ease of understanding. Number one is Canadian PR fees for primary applicant, which comes to $825 Canadian, which in turn amounts up to 46,142 rupees in INR, give or take a few, dependent on the exchange rate on the day that you make the deposit. Next is right of permanent residence fees, which is 500 Canadian dollars. In INR, that would be 27,965 rupees. Again, the numbers in INR will vary depending on the exchange rate of the day. Spouse or partner processing fees, that comes to $825 again, and similarly 46,142 Indian rupees. Now, for the dependent child, it is $225, which in turn comes to 12,584. Next comes charges for the documents needed with the PR application. First is medical test. It costs approximately 5,500, though it can vary from place to place. Next is police clearance certificate, PCC. The expense for this document may cost you approximately 1,000 Indian rupees or maybe a little above, depending upon the place you're applying from. Now you have to keep one thing in your mind. The fees and charges mentioned in this presentation are subject to changes periodically. Therefore, to confirm the latest status or to apply for permanent residency in Canada this year, you may call our immigration experts on our toll-free number 7818 000 or email us at info@visasavenue.com. And that concludes our presentation for the funds. We thank you for your time. Have a good day.